Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danya if you're new here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about stocking stuffer gift ideas from Amazon. These are all $30 and under at the time of filming this. So let's jump right in. Now if you missed my part 1, which was the Amazon gift guide, I'll have it on the screen so that you can watch it either before or after this video. Some of the gifts in that video would go really nicely with these stocking stuffers, so just keep that in mind. So the first thing on my list is the Cricut basic tool set. I had to include this. Now this is separate. I had to include this because this is something I pretty much use every day. I love the quality. I have used this exact set for years. These are scissors that are very sharp and very precise. These are mostly used if you cut cardstock on your Cricut mat and are trying to lift it up, or honestly to lift anything up, because as you can see, I've used mine a lot for different types of materials. These tweezers are very, very useful, especially if you're working with really tiny things and you don't want your hands to be in the way. You can just use the tweezers and it's very helpful. Now, this is the Cricut True Control knife. This is sold separately and it does come with different attachments. So if you, for example, want to buy this, you don't want to buy this whole set, so you can absolutely switch it out with one of these. And I love that it's protected so that you're not hurting yourself. So you unlock and then you press down. And then, for example, what if we want this one? You press down, lock, and then take it out. Very, very nice. It does come in another color, but I think the pink one has different attachments. So I will include both, but just keep that in mind. I'll also have links to everything I reference in the video, and then I'll make sure to include a link to a free downloadable file where I'll have my whole gift guide. So all the stocking stuffers I reference in the video, and I'll also have additional items just because I don't want the video to be extremely long. So I will include additional items in that list, and if you want to download it for free, I'll have the link down there. Okay, let's move on to the next few items. Next on the list is the brayer tool. Now, this is one of those tools where I remember thinking, okay, this is really unnecessary. I don't need to buy that. I can just press down on the vinyl myself, you know, on the mat, and I don't really need it. But honestly, after buying one and using it, I completely understand. It is very useful. When you're placing the vinyl down with your hands, it's not the same pressure as the brayer tool. For example, I have this roll of vinyl, and this is heat transfer vinyl, which also can be referred to as iron-on. So it has to be shiny side down. So for example, if I'm placing this on, just, you know, using my hands, okay, I'm gonna press it down, but then I have to individually like make sure all the bubbles are gone just so that it doesn't move, it doesn't lift up while cutting. Whereas with the brayer tool, I'm just gonna place it down and then I'm just going to really press down and make sure it is completely on there. So it is very useful. It comes in handy and it's a really, really nice stocking stuffer. This is another tool set that Cricut sells. I purchased this as a gift that I'm adding to a gift basket where I'm going to be putting some vinyl and some blanks for my friend. But I wanted to show you that you do have other combinations. It's not just the first set that I showed you. And this one has different shapes depending on the type of material you like to weed out and the shape of the hook you prefer. It does say on the back, it does give you an idea, you know, what each one does and what it's mostly used for. So we will talk more about some other Cricut products in a little bit, but I want to move on to some other items and another brand. Now, Tech Wrap also has their own toolkit. So they sell squeegee, a pin pen tool, which is mostly, honestly, I feel like the best to use with really, really tiny, intricate designs. And I will be weeding out a design in a little bit, so I'll show you what I mean. But they do have different options when it comes to tweezers, pin pen, squeegee. I'll have all those options linked. I really love their products, so I wanted to include them in the video as well. And speaking of Tech Wrap, I spoke a little bit about their vinyl in the first Amazon video. I will also include those links in this video as well because they have so many variety packs that make really nice stocking stuffers. The price is great, so I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to include it again in this one, because I think you can really make a nice either gift basket or stocking stuffer with some of their variety packs and their tools as well. Another really fun tool I like is this set of cup holders and these squeegees. I have talked about these before. You see them in my videos all the time. I'm really, really happy with them. Honestly, I don't have anything bad to say. The quality is amazing. I have not faced any issues with using them. You can, one of the sides is a little bit higher. So depending on the cup, you can change the orientation and see what works best for you. Next on the list is transfer tape. These are two different kinds. This is the transfer tape that you would use with most vinyl projects, and this is low tack transfer tape. And this is what you would use if you're transferring vinyl onto a surface that could easily rip, like paper or a bag or tissue paper, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. You can absolutely put vinyl on tissue paper. So I do recommend looking into both. I love both of them equally because, like I said, they serve different purposes. This is regular transfer tape. I use this for almost everything unless I'm working with a sensitive surface, like paper, or a painted surface where I'm worried that the transfer tape is going to lift some of that paint. Then I use this. So I have these two designs. I'm going to add one of them onto cardstock, and then the other one I'll place on tissue paper. It's one of the nicest ways to add just a simple addition to your gift, and it just really, really elevates it. So remember the pin pen tool I was telling you about. It's very, very useful when you have teeny tiny pieces like this. And they do have, Tech Wrap has different colors and sets that they sell these pin pen tools in, depending on what you're looking to purchase. I'll have a few different options if you want to take a look at all of them. I did want to mention something and also ask you guys a question. So the first thing I want to tell you is if you have not signed up already and claimed your free ticket for Christmas Craft Week, which is happening tomorrow. So it starts November 3rd. It is an event hosted by Makers Gonna Learn. I am so honored to be part of that event. I'm going to be teaching a class among over 10 other extremely talented creators that I am just so honored to be on the list with. It is a free event. I'll have the link in the description box so that you can claim your ticket. I really hope you can attend. I've seen a lot of the projects. It's so much fun. Obviously I know the ones I'm working on, but then I've seen some of the other projects that the talented, beautiful crafters works on, and it's so good. You don't want to miss it. Oh, and then the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is I really want to work on some care packages. It's just a way to thank you. I wish I could do it for all of you. I would love to prepare like a care package with some vinyl, maybe some tools, and send it to one of you. Ideally, I'd love to do this every month, but we'll see how it goes. And shipping prices keep going up higher and higher. And so we'll see how that is. But if you're interested in something like that, let me know. And I'll have my socials in the description box. So I'll have my Instagram and my Facebook page and TikTok. If you're on any of those platforms, make sure you follow me there, especially Instagram, because that's probably where I would be announcing it or sharing more details about that. And as much as I would love to do it for everyone, because, shipping prices, again, are so high, I would only be able to do it for people living in the US. So I'm so sorry for, subscribers who live all over the world. I want you to know I love you, I appreciate you, and I wish I could send you a care package as well. It's just so difficult, and I wish I could, honestly. Okay, so these two designs are ready. Let's grab the transfer tape. Okay, let's set this aside. All right, so the first one is going on cardstock. I love adding vinyl to cardstock because it just opens up so many possibilities when you are working on gifts or designs. You're just not limited because especially if you have so many different colors of vinyl and even iron-on. You can absolutely do iron-on as well onto cardstock. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this in place. And then we will place the design right here. Now, again, because this is paper and we use the low-tack transfer tape, it won't rip my surface. Whereas if I used the other red transfer tape, because it's sticky, it would have ripped my paper. Look at that. So, so pretty. You can create your own cards. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Adding vinyl, either regular vinyl, you know, permanent vinyl or iron-on onto cardstock just really, really elevates it so much. Okay, now let's bring the tissue paper in. Let me actually set the tissue paper aside for a minute. Now, the only downside with using transfer tape like this, which is barely sticky or, you know, low tack, is you can't really reuse it as much as you would, you know, with another kind of transfer tape. Again, because it loses its stickiness pretty quickly, but I still love it so much because it comes in handy for so many projects. I didn't even notice that this is like this, but it's fine. Now, if you didn't already know this, you can absolutely add vinyl to tissue paper and it is so much fun. I mean, imagine all the different ideas you could do for Christmas, the personalized messages, or if you want to add your kids' names or your grandkids' names on the tissue paper. It's just so, so cute. So for example, if I want to place this right here, and then I'm going to very gently press down. Now, this is paper. It's very, very delicate. And look at that. I mean, unbelievable, right? Look, I love it. I love personalizing all the things. All right, so let's move on to the next gift idea. Okay, next I'm bringing in slap bracelets because even though I have shared these multiple times before, just in case you're new or if you're not, I just wanted to remind you that these really are an amazing gift. They are perfect for storing or holding vinyl. You can personalize them. You can add vinyl and write down either the brand or the type of vinyl, if it is, for example, a glow-in-the-dark vinyl, or if it's iron-on, permanent. However you want to organize them, it's very helpful. Tech Wrap does have their own slap bracelets, which are really nice if you're going to buy the full set and you want to color match them. I really, really like those. If you like the idea of personalizing the slap bracelets, I would go with the white ones though, because this is like a silicone material, so you can't add vinyl to these. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the red glitter vinyl I have here. And you'll hear me say either iron-on or HTV. It means the same thing because HTV stands for heat transfer vinyl. So this is by Caesar. Now, I don't know how, but I completely forgot to mention Caesar in my first video, which I honestly truly don't know how that happened because I love Caesar so much. It's the very first brand I ever tried. If you've seen any of my sit down videos where you can see in the background the vinyl that I have hanging on the wall, almost all of that, or I'd say 90% of that is Caesar. I love their vinyl. I don't know how I forgot to mention it, but I really wanted to give this vinyl a shout out because I've never ever had issues with it and I really love it so much. Now let's move on to the Cricut pens. The Cricut Joy and Cricut Joy Extra use the same type of pens. So if you have either machine, this is the pack you would buy. And then these are the Cricut Explore pens. I love using Cricut pens. They add such a fun layer to crafting if you're working on cards or any type of paper craft and you're like me and you don't really like your handwriting. I also did share a really fun video, I'll have it on the screen, where I had my Cricut draw some cute birds. And then I ended up here, I have an extra one right here. And then I ended up coloring the bird and it turned out so cute. Now, because Cricut pens are not necessarily compatible with alcohol markers. We'll talk about alcohol markers in a little bit, but just keep in mind that if you want to try something out like this, give it enough time to dry. I think I waited a couple hours to know for sure that it was dry and I would be able to color without risking the black ink smearing. So this is the video I was talking about. I worked on these two cards. This was a card using my Cricut machine, and then this was using my die cut machine. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I had my Cricut draw these birds and then cut around them, and I colored using alcohol markers, and it did not smear at all. It turned out so cute, and then I colored in the clouds as well. So really fun project using the Cricut pens, or sorry, I mean these Cricut pens, because I used my Joy Extra for this. So a really nice stocking stuffer, and I feel like they go on sale a lot. So definitely look into them if you're buying it for someone who has a Cricut, or if you're buying them a Cricut and want to add some really fun things to the basket. Since we kind of talked about alcohol markers, I'm going to bring them in. I showed you the big pastel set and the 48 pack that I have in the first video. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep referencing that one, but because it is a part 1 and this is a part 2, they kind of go together. So I wanted to show you a smaller set that Ohuhu has. I said this already. I love their markers. I love the quality. They had to make an appearance in my gift guide. And I wanted to show you that they do have a set that is under $30, again, at the time of filming this. And they also come in this chisel, so it has 2 tips. So it has a fine tip and then a chisel tip, because the other 2 sets that I showed you had the fine and brush. And this is really fun if you are working on bigger designs, or I know some people prefer the chisel. I really love the brush tip, honestly, but oh my gosh, when these came in the mail, I was like, wow, I love these. So I purchased this set for my daughter, and she prefers the wider tip, which is why I bought her this combination. But this comes with 40 colors. It comes in this really nice bag. And if you're wondering what kind of fun things you can do with alcohol markers, other than working on cards, my daughter and I love to color. And if you have not seen these coloring books on social media, trust me, you need to look into them. It's so much fun because it's like an adult coloring book. The designs are so simple, and yet look at this. This is so relaxing. It has become one of my favorite activities when I want to relax. So this is a pretty new book, which is why it's still empty, but we almost finished this one. I mean, look at that. So fun. And this was all using our Ohuhu markers. Look, beautiful. And then these white details that you see, I created this using my white gel pens, which are the next item on the list. They're really fun. They add a really nice detail to your coloring. As you can see here, let's compare these. So look at this page. Okay, you know, the colors are cute. It looks fine. But then when you compare it to this one, it just adds a little bit more dimension and it looks really unique, doesn't it? I really like this designer. Her coloring books are always so easy. So it just feels, I don't know, relaxing, because you're not worrying about, you know, getting out of the lines, because the lines are so, this is my daughter started working on this and she hasn't finished it yet, but the lines are so thick that you're not worried about messing up the coloring, you know? So I wanted to include the coloring books with these markers and the gel pens because I think it's a really nice combination. Okay, next on the list are different types of adhesive. Now, this is heat-resistant tape, and this is washi tape. I used to use it when I would roll up my vinyl before I started using slap bracelets because I would hold the vinyl in place using washi tape. I still sometimes do that when I place the vinyl on my Cricut mat and my mat isn't super sticky anymore, so I place washi tape all around. So that's very useful, and washi tape comes in really fun colors and nice combinations, so I thought it would be a fun item to include as a stocking stuffer. Now, this is heat resistant tape, and you would mostly use this if you have a project that you want to press on your shirt or tote bag or whatever surface using a heat press or some type of heat source, and you don't want it to move. That's when you use heat resistant tape, because you know that the tape isn't going to melt when the heat comes in contact with it. And then next on the list is the Barely Art glue. This is another thing where when I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of pricey for glue. I don't know if it's worth it. It absolutely is. I've been using it for months and I understand the hype. First of all, I love the precision tip. It comes in handy when working with smaller designs. So for example, here, this is a design I recently colored. I cut this out using my mini die cut machine. I talked about it in my first video. I'll quickly show it to you after this, but just know that it is included in that first list. So basically the process of doing this is you stamp out the design and then you color it and then you send it through the die cut machine and it cuts it out to size. So I just want to show you how nice it is to have the precision tip. And I mean, look at how small that bird is in my hand. And then I can either use tweezers. This is a situation where you would probably like to use tweezers instead of just figuring it out by hand. And then it dries clear and it dries super fast. I love it. It is so handy. So had to include it on the list. Now, since I mentioned the die cut machine, let me quickly bring that in. This is the die cut machine I talked about in the first video. I won't demonstrate it again in case a lot of you already saw that, but it comes with different plates. You can do a lot of really fun projects. You can either use the embossing folders, buy additional embossing folders, or use it like I did, where you can die cut whatever design you have and you'll have some really unique pieces afterwards. If the die cut machine is something you added to your cart after watching the first video, this is a really nice tool to have with it. This is the Spellbinder's magnet tool, and it comes in handy when you have these dies. And let's say you want to set them aside. You're only using, 3 out of the collection. You set them aside while you're coloring and finishing up that part of the design. And then these are ready to go. You can place them on the paper, use washi tape to hold them down, and that way you don't risk losing them when you're in between projects, or if you want to cut these one at a time and don't want to just lay them, on your mat. Now, I do have another tool that would basically serve pretty much the same purpose as this, and that is my Glassboard Studio magnets. I talked about these a lot in my first video, but a lot of them are under $30. So I wanted to include it again because they have some really fun colors, really fun shapes, and you can absolutely use it to hold down your dies because they are magnetic. So you can absolutely just do that, instead of purchasing this if you're already adding any of these to your list. Now, they do have 2 new products that are actually perfect for holding dies and other small items as well. So they have the magnetic ink tray, which I think the official name is Mag Ink Tray. It holds down in place because it's magnetic. You can use it for your dies, or you can use it to hold down your ink in place, especially if you have a stencil and you're trying to work on that. You don't want to worry about having to hold the ink down. This holds it in place. You only have to focus on your brush, the color, and your paper. So I really like this new addition that they added to their line. I talked about this glass board in my previous video. I also showed you a different color, again, in case you have not seen that one. But this is a tool that I really, really love in my space. I'm not going to talk about it a lot in this video because it is not under $30, but these add-ons are. So just keep that in mind. Their Hexaflex organizer, here, let me empty it. Their Hexaflex organizer is also around that price range. So this would make a really nice stocking stuffer as well. They have one more new product that I wanted to show you. Now, this is the craft catcher. This slides right under your glass mat right here. That way, when you're working on projects, if you have extra embellishments, or in my case, I always have like tiny pieces of vinyl that I want to slide over. You just slide it over. It comes in 3 different sizes. And then when you're done, you either dump it, in the trash or wherever else you want to put those tiny, tiny pieces. So this is a great stocking stuffer as well. They have different colors. All the colors that you see come in these colors as well. And they also have black, orange, red. Honestly, they're so beautiful. So check it out. I'll have the link so that you can take a look for yourself. And now I'm going to clean up a little bit so that I can show you the last item. All right, next is measuring tape. I love this because I don't have to worry about folding it in each time or rolling it in. I used to have one of those old-fashioned ones and it drove me crazy. These are really cute. They come in a 3-pack, I believe. It's been so long since I purchased these. Yes, I believe they came in a 2-pack or a 3-pack. I'll add all the details, but I wanted to add it to the list because isn't it the cutest stocking stuffer ever? I mean, look at that. And then it also comes in pink and blue. All right, that is everything I have for you today. Again, don't forget to claim your free ticket to Christmas Craft Week. I'll have the link down in the description box. I'll also have the link for the free downloadable file with the whole list of everything I mentioned, as well as all the bonus items. I appreciate all of you so much. I hope this video helps you in some way when you're shopping. If you made it till the end, leave your favorite emoji in the comments section. I love you all, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!